love velocity with all my heart. And with that, looks like we are ready to go. This is the Mummy Demastered, run by Codepiece.
All right. That's us.
Let's go. I'm on the screen. All right. So, quick introduction. This is Codepiece. Here's my couch. I'll let them introduce themselves.
You go, right?
You go ahead.
Well, I'm gvirus.
I'm Ecdycis.
I'm IvanDashSmith, better known as Austin Ivan Smith. I'm a director at WayForward, and I directed the Mummy Demastered.
All right. If everybody's ready, let's go.
All right.
Okay, and I just found that out.
2, 1.
Go.
Let's go. So we'd like to do the honors of describing the Mummy Demastered first.
Please, Coda can do it. I did it so much.
That's fair. Codepiece?
I only know speedrun tech, so I'm just going to try to kill myself as fast as possible.
So the Mummy Demastered is basically like a Metroidvania.
Who's this guy?
That's my face. We could. So it's based on the movie, and that's Russell Crowe's character, Dr. Jekyll, and we weren't sure if we were going to get the rights to use his face, and so they just took a picture of me and put his haircut on me. So I looked Russell Crowe adjacent.
I'm happy to know that now.
Yeah, so it's heavily inspired by Super Metroid and like Aria of Sorrow, and so we had to have a introductory stage a la Super Metroid to match up with what's going on in the movie. So in the movie, the mummy, there's, there she is in her weird form at the beginning, and then you are playing as these Prodigium agents who are going through and cleaning up after things. So you can escape here if you want a zero-death run, but Coda's not going to do that. It's slower.
It's going to be much faster this way, and there's no major difference, except now we're out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ideally want to take body hits from the agents. They do 20 damage, so 5 hits will kill you. Everything else is a slower way to die.
And if we wanted to, if we have any early donations, we could do that right now.
Absolutely. We have a $20 donation from Talbiz that says, hey, AGDQ staff and runners, really enjoying the run so far, and I hope everyone is having a great time there. Greetings from Ireland. And we also have a $15 donation from Osario that reads, longtime watcher and fan of the GDQ event series. This is my first time donating to the event. Good luck to all the runners at GDQ, and hope may the RNG be in your favor and may cancer be defeated soon.
Yes, RNG.
Hopefully, man.
There's a little bit of that in this game.
WayForward is known for, having heavy RNG in their games.
So right now we're kind of in the beginning of the game, and this is going to serve as a sort of tutorial. They're going to make us get all the early game items in order to progress. Like, you have to learn about the save points. You're going to have to get the map, some grenades, machine gun, health. So we're going to kind of just be seeing Codepiece route through all this. Pretty standard, like, Metroidvania gameplay here. And we're going to get an introduction again to the mummy, Aminet?
Aminet, yeah.
Aminet.
Yeah, and you'll notice Codepiece is rolling through doors. The roll tech is pretty important. Rolling at the beginning of a door, it's faster than walking through, because then you don't get the ending animation of standing up.
Yeah, the first half of the game, we are casually jogging and rolling, doing some acrobats. So it definitely picks up a lot faster once you get a few power-ups.
I want to make a quick note, but I think at one point they actually patched in something that's really nice quality of life. Notice how the bats are all dropping like health. When the game came out, like, there were probably no drops in the game.
Nice.
So you just...
That was right there is a pretty precise cloud step. Shout out to the Bamboo Boys, but we basically are abusing the hitbox of the platform.
Yes, you are.
And
pretty much the bottom of the platform is like the very bottom. If you, with all exist in that, you can just get the jump early and continue forward as it never, like, you just landed.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that until I saw you do it last night. And it was, and like later in the game when you keep doing it, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, once you pick up high jump later on, you're really abusing the platforming in the game.
Yeah, so that was gorgeous.
There we go.
I needed that grenade.
Also make sure you have a decent amount of ammo with grenades, because some of the doors in this game can, as you saw earlier, only be opened if you have a grenade. You got
RNG's on my side right now.
Oh yeah, the way things weren't dropping before, that was a bit of a bug. Oh.
So try and perform a damage abuse here by using the, I think that's a locust.
Yes.
by using the locust to just get enough height so he doesn't have to go all the way around. That'll be used a lot later, but for right now, it's an ace player.
So right there on that second platform, I was able to get a RBJ. It's a tech that I found in the last 2 weeks. It's short for roll boost jump. So if you are able to roll at a exact frame at the very edge of a platform, it propels you forward. And after you do that, if you consistently jump afterwards before you're grounded, you can continue that momentum. So this kind of cracked the door open, early game tech, and it's very hard to actually initiate the RBJs, but it's going to open the door for a lot of early game optimization and stuff like that.
All right. Right now we're heading towards the top of the map here, so we can find a helicopter and kind of get the brief tutorial on that.
Yeah.
And soon enough, we should be able to get told. I think we need the health.
Oh yeah, you do.
A little dialogue script cut skip there, so instead of waiting there.
You forgot the health.
Yeah, the health kit. These platforms are always annoying with the Locust. Probably the, I know they're my least favorite enemy in this game just because they always just hit you at the absolute wrong time.
That's just how it was planned.
And they planned that, like, well, you planned that out?
No. It was a kitchen sink of, hey, these do this. Let's put some falling platforms. This could be interesting. And,
I wouldn't say they're the worst enemy in the game, but I do know they're my least favorites.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm 1 HP right here, 1 hit. So.
Yeah. Take your time, take your time. We'll get back into swing soon. Oh no!
So, we can talk about the death mechanic in the game. When you die, all your gear remains with your agent, and you go back to the previous warp point.
It's not too punishing since it's the early game, and this
Right.
actually kind of places us somewhat near the health.
Yep, exactly. I was actually so focused on couch conversation, I got a little out of it. But
It's all good. It's all good. We saw that. That's why we had the estimate.
Hey, me, I haven't been saying anything.
While we're waiting to get back, I just have a quick question myself. Why do we have a lack of Brendan Fraser?
Because it's a different brand. It's a different.
I suppose.
It's a reimagining.
Ever heard of Easter eggs?
And it's Brendan Fraser, right?
Let me get that DLC, man.
You know, that would be amazing.
The Mummy returns.
Exactly.
Well, we did the April
game, the
Fool's
movie, the video
Mummy
game.
Demastered remastered. So I also directed DuckTales Remastered. So that was the one April Fool's joke I got to actually see happen.
all right, now I'm back on track. I'm
There
like,
you go.
what room am I in?
It takes a bit to get the hang of when you're used to the muscle memory, but as you saw earlier, like we weren't able to actually progress through the game unless you've grabbed every single upgrade, and this is just the game making sure that you're not going to be totally screwed when it comes to playing it.
Yeah.
And
It is a tutorialization of what all these things do. The helicopter's a warp room.
Yeah.
You can warp between all the helicopters. Like
So this is the item I simply forgot.
Yeah.
Running past the health packs, and now we're
go.
able to.
although, as a quick reminder, you will need to find your dead body and loot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, well, we mentioned earlier, but death is not the end in this game. The
Right.
major mechanic in this game that makes it, I guess, different from other Metroidvanias is that when you die, your dead body becomes a zombie. We actually do use this during the run later on, but for right now, we're going to find that body and kill it to make sure that we can get back the machine gun and the grenades.
Yeah.
Because there are certain doors in this game that can only be opened using grenades, and they come pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's actually not a lot of bosses that we end up fighting, so we'll be able to skip those pretty easily later on. But for right now, we need to make sure we get those. And the dead body should be below. How far did he fall? There he is.
And he's using your gear, and he ran away.
The nerve on that guy.
And he just lobbed a grenade at us.
There we go. So
All
we get
right,
gear back.
recovered the gear.
All right.
Yay!
Let's go,
Let's
Mummy.
meet up with Aminet now.
So if you read the
Wow.
script of the face of that amazing, beautiful portrait, you basically just learn that these are generic, soldiers for a private group called Prodigium, led by Dr. Jekyll. If you've seen the movie, Coda has not seen the movie, apparently.
You have?
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I have.
you
You have?
have to.
Yeah,
Like, you will appreciate the game more and just see like how many little tidbits and nods there are to the movie.
But like, they didn't have Brendan Fraser. I assume this is like the good version of the movie.
You don't need Brendan Fraser.
I mean, they could have put in The Rock, too. 'cause he
Exactly. We need The Rock too.
was- I mean, Dwayne's in everything these days.
Way Forward did the Scorpion King game for Game Boy Advance. Back
Wait,
in
there's
the
a
day.
Scorpion King game?
Yeah, on Game Boy Advance.
We need that at the next one.
Someone should run it.
Okay, so now we're kind of in the first actual level. The first one was more the tutorial, and now we're going to be approaching, I guess, some acid pits, which are a neat mechanic. When you step in those, they pretty much chip down your health, which will come in handy later, but for right now, they're going to be more lethal than anything. Another thing that Code Piece is going to be grabbing is bandoliers, and what bandoliers do is they'll increase all your ammo for every gun you have and your grenades. So most of what that means for us is for certain boss fights, we'll have a damage, like just more damage you can get off. He's performing more of the platform jumps from underneath, and that lets you just pretty much skip the entire cycle there, which is pretty nice. And he's going to be doing a boss get pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, so we do a lot of early game damage boosting. Normally we head down here and we fight a spider, a giant black widow, and we are just gonna simply alternate the route and skip that completely.
An upside down spider.
So the idea here is this guy's going to be spawning. First try, by the way.
First try, every try. Let's go.
Every try.
And I got my HP.
Yep, this is actually really good right now. But as you can see, those guys spawn up based on your height. So he wanted to make sure that he was high enough that he would be able to, when he jumps at his highest, get the damage boost to get him over that.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the entire first boss, by the way.
So he has the repel gear, which he should have had the ceiling.
Nice, first try on the way back too.
Good job. I know he doesn't need it.
Can we just like take a couple of seconds to mention how deceptively hard this game is? Because honestly, it's very punishing. You think it's a movie tie-in, it's a cheap game. First off, it breaks the trend because that's actually an amazing game,
Oh, yeah.
in my opinion. So kudos to you and your whole team.
Thank you.
But also, it's not easy by any standards.
He makes it look real easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make a game too hard, and I'm not an amazing player. I can't beat Contra 4. I can't beat the first stage of Contra 4, and we made Contra 4, and
On the DS, right?
on the DS, correct. Hey, good job. On practice, you went the wrong way. This will be a little faster taking the right route versus the left route. But yeah, and when I made this and I was playing it, I didn't find it that hard. So I was like, oh, if I can beat it, then it'll be fine, right? And then I was watching him play last night in a couple rooms. It's like, there's way too many enemies in that room. I feel kind of bad. And these rats have a lot of RNG.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's
That's
amazing.
close rat.
Good job.
less RNG, rat NG is what we call it. They're able to get a roll boost and a 1 momentum hop
I showed
there.
Coda last night. They all spawn in the same location, but they walk for a random amount of time, and then they hold for a random amount of time. So it can make it a little tricky when there's a lot of them in the room.
Got the bandoliers we need as well. We'll be able to deal more damage to some of the bosses later. And this level's kind of weird because story-wise at this point, you're chasing around Aminet. Our director friend here is telling you, he's telling you that, hey, Aminet's over here, go over there and stop her.
Right.
That would happen during the boss fight as well, which we're also missing an upgrade from that, so later on in the game, some jumps are going to be tougher as a result. But right now, we're probably going to be getting one of the greatest upgrades in the game, probably the second greatest in my, well, actually, I guess all the ones we're getting in the run are pretty good. But this one's going to make us a lot faster in these rooms.
Yeah. So you are going around after Amina. You're basically the cleanup crew.
Right.
You know, so you're going in after, and she went to some of these places in the movie, and it was also a means to connect the start of the movie to London in the end. Because the movie takes place in London.
Right.
Which you would know if you saw it.
I saw, like, the trailers.
You get a
Well,
good
in the
gist of
trailer,
it.
you see Tom Cruise running away in London when she's
Yeah.
doing the whole sandstorm thing.
Well, yeah, he's always
The
running.
elevator skip.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Good climb. Like, I just saw earlier, the locusts cannot be kind sometimes. So being able to weave through that is very nice.
There are some spontaneous zombies. They will just kind of erupt from their grave. I can't explain why it happens, but sometimes it does mess up a lot of speed rooms.
There are specific regions that they do come out of. and they will randomly spawn. Randomly, you know, everyone's favorite, RNG.
So not rat NG this time, but zombie NG.
Zombie NG. ZNG.
CNG.
Zing.
That's a goldeneye gun, no?
There you go, trademark that. Another thing to mention is there's a bit of RNG in the grenades because you need enough to open this door. And now we have the scroll cuvee, which is going to allow Codebeast to run much faster in rooms if he carries his speed.
Yeah, so once you're, as long as you're grounded, your momentum will build up.
And in addition to that, when you run, you'll have higher jumps, and that's going to help out a lot later on some parts.
So that's basically a speed booster.
Yes, exactly.
Right here, I'm gonna do a little zigzag, try to set up a enemy manip.
Let's see.
That's if he gets it. Oh. Pretty much, if you end up missing the manip, you have to kill the spiders because they got in your way. It's just the natural course of things. But now he's going to be able to run through all this, and hopefully he'll be able to carry his speed the whole time. It looks good so far.
I always find that jumping through the zombies helps. Just little tap jumps.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
All right.
Now, good.
And you would think he would keep running through here to go really fast. And that's how the designer, the original level designer, Tom Hewlett, designed it. But when I was reviewing his level, I wasn't starting from way over on the left. So I started at the start of the room, just like Coda did,
I'm gonna take a
to
little
get here.
acid bath.
So he made it through all the
Acid bath.
enemies perfectly. I'm sorry, Tom. I apologize for ruining your level.
He'll forgive you.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, if it wasn't you, it was going to be us. Anyway.
So right now, something important is you notice that Codepiece has pretty much chopped his health down to 25 and is saving the game. You noticed this earlier, but death is not the end. And we're going to use that mechanic in order to skip the second boss of the game. Normally, you'd have to fight a really cool dragon that's just kind of chilling in the back. However, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to die to the rat.
Yeah, normally I want to have 30 HP coming out of the acid bath so I can take one hit from a grasshopper to bring me back to 15. So it's just a quick kill, but safety first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So right now I have the dead body in the corner, and that's actually going to help us chip down more damage because you need to die twice.
All right.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger skips that were found by Axmos in the community. It's actually a little finicky because you have to set up placement, but
There we go.
your original death location is what has all your items in inventory. So what we're gonna do is kill that clone and then head back up and do a strategic damage boost.
The main reason why as well is because, like we mentioned earlier, he has all your stuff, so you can't physically open certain doors in the game because he'll have the grenades. The machine gun's nice damage, but the grenades are really the major thing we're gonna need here.
Yeah.
And as well, we're gonna be having the second guy appear, and he's going to, if he sees you, shoot in a line. And also first try.
There you go. Good
First
job.
try.
Nice.
Perfect placement there.
And that just skipped the dragon boss
Yeah.
fight.
This area was intended to bring you back to the dragon area faster, not to go the way you just did until you have the high jump.
Right.
So, yeah. And the dragon boss is a nod to an old Abbott and Costello movie, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. So there was a giant lizard in it, and I'm like, oh, we should have a giant lizard.
He is
Nice.
one of those bosses.
Good job. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, yeah, okay.
Good, very good.
Good job. So yeah, I just want to say real fast that the music for this game is some of my favorite music we've ever done.
Oh, absolutely.
It was done by Monomer, and the soundtrack's available on Spotify or whatever. You can go check it out. But like, he's
Is
an
it?
amazing musician.
It absolutely slaps.
Yes.
I think my favorite music is in the clock tower.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorites.
It is just an absolute banger.
I'm definitely updating my VGM playlist.
You gotta add it on, man.
We're done with this.
I mean, and his stuff is amazing. So here, he's going to use a boost from the skeleton to get up there. Another area, I apologize, Tom. Tom Hewlett. You're supposed to go down through the water, and I didn't like having to go back through the water, so I put that little shortcut. I'm like, it's fine. You don't have the high jump, so you won't be able to get in there.
But now we have the high jump.
But now we have the high jump, so it's fine.
Well, the way I see it for all the level designers out there, the way that we break games and just go unintended routes,
Yeah.
the amount of love that we show in the process of doing this,
Yeah.
it's actually one of the highest compliments there is.
And that's how I feel about this. It is amazing, and it's a beauty to behold. And Tom's not upset. He's busy with Bloodstained anyway. He's directing the team on Bloodstained, so.
And for that, we'll say we love you, Tom.
Exactly. And then hopefully it'll be here at GDQ again.
Little
I
hook
guess
jump.
they're working on a randomizer, so hopefully we can get a randomized bloodstain going on.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and these brains in jars are a reference to Frankenstein. Because in the first movie, Fritz drops a brain, the wrong brain, or the good brain, and then he gets the brain of the killer.
We got the little bug.
All right. Very
Good
nice.
job. Nice.
And now we have C4. This is an upgraded grenade and can pretty much blow up the wooden doors and steel doors.
Yep.
And you notice there's some steel doors around. He's going to swap it for it. And now we'll be able to break those in addition to the wooden ones and allow us to beat the game pretty much. Also, I guess the Frankenstein reference makes sense, given that this is supposed to be like, I guess the Mummy is supposed to be the dark universe sort of thing.
Exactly. It was Dark Universe, and the publishers at, or the publishers, the games group at Universal. Thank you. I'm on the spot. They were really supportive, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do Frankenstein, all these other movies, so just put as much reference as you can in there. They wanted more. And so we just, I watched all the old classic monster films, and we tried to do as much as possible.
So this right here is probably the hardest jump in the game, because we mentioned earlier that we never fought the spider boss, meaning he never learned how to climb on ceilings. So you have to make that jump without the ability to climb on ceilings, which requires
That's about step right out.
very
after you
specific
drop.
timing and speed buildup. So he has to kill the enemies while he's running and make sure that he can carry that forward so he can actually pass the goo at the top. And he
There
did
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
I actually tried to go for riskier strats on the first one where I didn't set up the manip on the scarab, so he was able to kind of miss the C4 and jump and nick my and damage boost me the wrong way. So
As well, I wanted to mention, we saw an enemy earlier that I think is probably the worst enemy in the game to deal with, and that's the flaming skulls.
Sorry.
They either deal a lot of damage to you, or they hit you and deal more damage to you, but then they die.
Right. Well, if you kill them, they explode.
Yeah.
I think it was inspired by a Blood Rain enemy for a Blood Rain game we did, and also I think that was inspired by a Mega Man X enemy. So
Also, now we have the Mercury Harpoon, which is probably the best weapon for the casual kind of goons running around. It'll one-shot most enemies and is pretty powerful.
especially against like undead mummy and
Yeah.
So, do we have any cheese lovers out there? Because what's your favorite cheese? gvirus, go.
I would say either smoked Gouda or feta, because I'm half Greek and I just have to say that by default.
Nice.
How about you?
nice.
I mean, I like a good sharp cheddar myself.
Cheddar?
I like brie.
I am a Manchego fan.
I'm also a big fan of Anubis.
Oh yeah, so this is
right
the
here.
boss we're actually fighting, but instead we're hitting his hitbox off screen, not initiating the cutscene.
So he spawns and already exists, and every time you're hearing that little thud,
And
you're doing
more
damage.
cheese.
We're also doing, like, sort of how Cuphead had the glitch where you alternate between. Going between the Mercury Harpoon and the standard machine gun is going to allow us to get double damage. Because the Mercury Harpoon only goes as fast as you can actually, like, it has set tapping rates. So by going between, you get more damage. This boss pretty much will eat damage until you hear an explosion. Fun part, if you walk into the boss room after it dies, you can soft lock the game. But you can hit with grenades. This also skips it. There it is.
Go.
Anubis is dead.
For everyone at Way Forward, that was Robert's boss. And you can give him a hard time for that. Yeah.
But we still have Tom. So right now is going to be a pretty difficult set of jumps. These guys are going to pop down, and we want to make sure that we get very nice.
I showed him that last night.
Perfect. And now
I
we have
did.
the horse racer.
And I still messed it up in practice today, so I
Oh,
threw
did
an
you?
extra
Oh, God.
C for
I
it.
always
did it
joke
just
for
in
my
case.
You did it
machine gun
first-
rounds.
first
It is
try, first
it is
try.
much more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, we were
because
at practice last night. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you just run off the second platform, don't jump. And then
I'm
he got
happy
it
to know
first
that
try,
now.
So yeah.
But the reason why we made the horse racer is you notice we kind of just kept shooting Anubis. You can see him, but we were shooting him very, like, just wasted all our ammo. As the bosses keep going forward, they get more and more health, and that's going to double our damage.
There you go. Hook
So
jump.
I'll make it faster.
And a little airwalk,
Nice.
hopefully.
Very nice. Now we are
There we
in...
go. The London streets, after the sandstorm from the trailer.
Yep.
So that front room is the Museum of Natural History, I think.
Huh.
So yeah.
That's a very missed opportunity to use Sandstone by Darude on this level.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it'd be really fun to have Tom Cruise running by in the
Oh, yeah.
background, just doing his run.
And now we're about to be approaching probably my favorite level in this game. And I think one of the best ones by far. The clock tower.
You can't have a Metroidvania without a clock tower.
Exactly.
Well, you know.
Well, I mean,
maybe
Probably the hardest part
Metroid.
in the run.
maybe an Ecdycis.
The whole goal of this is that you're going to want to climb all the way towards the top so you can fight an actual boss. We've kind of skipped all the bosses. There's no way to skip this one, to my knowledge, currently.
Not at the moment, no.
And you're going to make sure you're pretty much going in between the two. And you'll have gears to walk through, skeletons trying to stop you. As well, we're going to be grabbing an extra bandolier because we're going to want more ammo for the boss. Now that we have increased damage, the machine gun will do more damage than the base gun. And we're not going to have any more kind of ammo grabs, barring the save room up top.
This is actually where we do fill our ammo up completely. Nice, we hit that first try.
Perfect. Another thing to
You
mention
make it look so easy.
we don't have the hanging from the ceiling ability, and that comes in handy a lot here on certain jumps.
Yes.
And another thing to mention is we have 48 health.
Going into the
68.
hardest boss in the run.
168.
Yes. And normally at this point in the game, you probably would have like 668 health.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of ammo and a lot of health.
Because throughout the game, yeah, you can find
Point
bandoliers, you can find health kits.
No RNG
Wow,
Pro.
nice.
Very nice.
But that's what we get for not actually playing the game, right?
Right.
That's your punishment to us.
Basically. This game was so much fun because it was the first game I made after, because I'm a huge GDQ fan. We watch, and everyone at work, like you'll walk by and see it on people's desks, and you know, you see when Zala does a blind run, you walk to someone's desk, like, did you see that, did you see that? And then for this game, it was almost every level, it was, let's see how we can, you know, make something that's gonna be fun, like a fun sandbox for people to try to speedrun it.
There's the safety save.
All right, there we go.
A lot of developers are actually taking this approach. It reminds me of, let's say, The Messenger by Sabotage Studio.
Oh yeah.
Like, you guys are having very similar reactions to stuff you see in the run. It's always a treat.
And there's the scroll of Kepri that you're supposed to get in the very beginning of the
Yeah.
game. It just spawns here if you missed it.
It spawns there because when we are developing the game, we didn't have a setup where we could have like a set of options or booleans for like, oh, let's turn on these things. We just put the pickups at the bottom of the room. So the programmer, when I go to his desk and be like, here, play the boss, I need to make sure I had the high jump and the ceiling playing. So if somehow you got here without the high jump, it would be there too.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is the Beetle. Probably best song in the game, by the way, right here. And his mechanic is so we go on the right side of the room and the left side of the room, and you want to pump him full of machine gun rounds. As well, you saw he was also chucking C4s at him when he was underneath. Taking a damage use there is nice because you can just keep firing the machine gun as much as possible.
Yeah, it seems like the laser actually hits you, but it doesn't touch you again, so it only actually hits you that one time.
After he finishes running around, he'll be going around the room and slamming into walls, and this is going to cause the gears to activate, and as well, it's going to decrease the gear positioning after every hit. You can shoot him in the eye if you are a sharpshooter, but it's not very easy, so it's usually easier just to wait for these positions. Right now, Codepiece has swapped over to the glitch shooting, which is alternating between the buttons. It is
On a keyboard.
Yes, it is much more difficult than it appears to be, but it chops him down by quite a lot. As well, the boss will get more and more red with the more lower health he gets, and that's the boss.
Good job.
And I think for this run, that's actually the final boss.
Well,
We'll see.
technically, yes. This is an
Technically.
out-of-bounds run. I haven't done any out-of-bounds yet, and you will see why.
And there's Big Ben, which is the bell in the top of Queen Victoria Tower.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the movie, so I didn't actually know this was London.
I mean, if you got a clock tower level set in London, it has to be Big Ben.
It has to be Big Ben, yeah. and I learned from developing it, and I think the artist, Thomas Speichtmeier, who did all the art for the backgrounds, amazing artist, he knew a lot about that, and he informed me. He's like, no, Big Ben's the bell. You've got to have Big Ben and these other bells. I'm like, all right, cool.
If you wonder what the upgrade that we picked up was, it gives him the ability to run underwater. Normally, you kind of have this weird swimming thing where you're floating on top, but now it has made the Prodigium Soldier dense enough that he can just go underwater now.
Yep.
That's really cool. So we have a boss fight that is in Big Ben.
Yeah.
Huh.
And like all the glass from the clock tower is like blown out. I don't know if there's clock hands, and if there is, I think we set them to your actual,
I like that.
your actual in-game clock or your actual computer time.
So this is a little detour compared to any percent. For out of bounds, we actually have to head over this way and pick up the phase dash, which allows us to pretty much super dash,
There's also,
and
oh, good.
as well as clip out of bounds.
Here it is.
First
He
setup.
gets it. Very nice. First try.
Nice.
Let's
Again.
make sure you can finish it though. There it is.
All right. Yeah, that's we intended that. Not a bug feature.
Codepiece was showing you this last night.
Do,
or-
yeah.
earlier.
Extensive QA and testing.
I missed actually a pretty precise super dash there. It's similar to a full-halfie from Super Metroid. You can either go the full
Harpoon.
distance,
Full-halfie.
Harpoon.
That's full-halfie.
yeah, full-halfie, yeah.
And it's a pretty cool also to watch. The main build-up for that is just you have to make sure that you're building enough speed that your character turns red. And then that will allow you to get that. As well, just a better way to move around at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Code, when did you get red code?
Exactly.
So there's gonna be a risky thing coming up as well. By the end of, also break the wall. But by the end of the game, Codepiece is going to end with his health very low.
Not too low.
He needs to stay safe, but there's gonna be something coming up that's gonna end the run a little bit earlier than you'd expect.
At this point, I'd rather have the most HP I need.
I hear that.
Yeah, the last climb is very brutal. Most of the enemies do 45 to 50 damage.
Yeah. Another thing to note as well is as you progress through the game, the enemies get stronger. So some of the mummies are throwing ghosts. They give you like half your health at this point.
Yeah. You can kill them with a single harpoon, though. So probably
Right.
pop out of the ground. Yeah. And there's those guys with the spears in them that they throw.
Yeah.
That's actually another nod to the old Mummy movies, because after the success of the first Mummy movie, they made a bunch of sequels.
Yeah.
And the first Mummy movie wasn't the horror in the same way. All the sequels were there was just a guy walking around like this in bandages,
Right.
full bandages. But they always used the same clip of like the story of how the Mummy was created. And it was always a guy with a spear. He always gets stabbed and you have a spear sticking through him. It's like, oh, you gotta make that an enemy.
Also, that was a perfect climb into
Good
a
job.
safety save, and now I'll be performing the out of bounds.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
So actually, the dragon skip that was found earlier is like a 2-minute time save. This is also like a 2-minute time save. Even though you derail from course for a minute, you still save 2 minutes because the fight is about 3 minutes long. I'm gonna go for a pretty precise trick here.
He's pretty much going all the way from around the top of the room and trying to drop off from the left side. And he did it. And now he must escape or die in the tomb.
So he beat Mother Brain. Now he must get out of
Yeah.
DBs.
So the trick with like actually the true ending, if you skip the final boss, you're not allowed to escape.
Aye.
So I showed Coda that on stream, and his face dropped.
And we're approaching time.
Here we are approaching time and time.
Very nice. And underestimate.
So we did save the animals.
Exactly.
There we go.
We saved the animals, but we didn't save Prodigium. We have an
Yeah.
empty helicopter waiting.
So
We have 3 endings for the game. If you have 0 deaths, any deaths, or and you make it out to the end, and here when you don't make it out at all.
with that being said, we do have about a minute and a half of credits. So that will bring us to our estimate. I don't. Did you guys want us to have a shout out or anything?
I mean, I'd like to shout out our boys from the Action Verse community that you're very active in. I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. So I'll just say that the Mummy Demastered is in good hands if you're also part of that crew. So just big shout out to Codepiece, everyone, for an amazing run, honestly.
Codepiece, very
Thanks,
nice
guys.
job. The GDQ debut.
High five.
And
With that being said, yep.
oh, I'm just saying you did a very good job.
Thank you. I had a great couch. I was able to focus on the run for the second half of the beginning at least. But
Hey, Coda, can I have a shout out?
yep. Go ahead, Ivan.
Thank you. I just wanted to shout out everyone at Way Forward. Hope you're all having fun at work. My friends at Yacht Club and TikTok. And thanks to GDQ for having the Mummy. We were going to do it last year, then you broke your arm, and I never thought we'd have the chance to see it again. And now we're here.
Yep, Mummy in Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. And then just, I think my kids are watching, so Aiden, Ari, Athena, miss you guys, and I'll be home soon, and we can watch the Goose Game on Saturday.
There you go.
And I also want to give a shout out to the AV Discord community, Axiom Verge, great community. A lot of people are hyped about this run today. And also my Super Mario Princess, Drea, as well. And we do have a few time for donations right now if you want to roll those out.
Perfect. We actually have a $20 donation from Rogue Link that says, "Greetings from
Sounds good.
Wakeford. Always great to see other developers so supportive of the speedrunning community. Good luck with the run, Code Piece." Donation goes to Runner's Choice, as well as a $555.55 donation from Willow the Whisper. Greetings from the front row. Code Piece is a beloved member of the Axiom Verge speedrunning community, so all of us wanted to get together a big donation to a great cause and show him some love. Good luck on the run, buddy. We'll all be cheering for you from here. Put this donation towards the Runner's Choice. And thank you again so much to Code Piece for that wonderful run of the Mummy Demastered. We're going to throw it over to a quick Twitch ad break, and we will be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back to another awesome Games Done Quick. We had a $15 donation from Bluey Lewis that reads, "So excited you're at GDQ, Code Piece. Have a good run." And here is a quick word from our sponsors. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. We're actually going to throw it over to an interview here with Blechy and the boy KS.
Hey, everybody. I am Blechy here with TheBoyks, and he is very shortly going to be doing a run of Crotel Renovations. So can you tell us, what is this game all about?
Sure. So Crotel Renovations is a game about a crow that runs a hotel, which is in great disrepair. So the inspectors have come to shut down the hotel, and the crow needs to hide everything before they see it. I'm actually going to be doing a Crotel mode, which is like a post-game mode that actually remixes everything and follows a frog that works for those inspectors, eventually getting to the hotel.
I see, I see. So yeah, I mean, I was looking at a video of this run beforehand, and it is just hilarious. If you could pinpoint 3 of the wackiest things we should expect during this run, what would they be?
There's a giant owl that makes who puns, very important. There is a ghost that steals your bed, also very important. And there is also the little soot puff monsters from Spirited Away that are bullying everybody because they're jerks.
I love the premise of this game. That's so hilarious. And now, I mean, I guess is Croaktail, like you unlock it after you beat it with Croaktail? So
yeah. So the original game, Croaktail, was released as an itch.io game for free download. And then about a year or two later, it got revamped, edited, and they added an entire new mode to the game once you beat it.
Got it.
So that's what we'll be playing.
Cool. So how did you find a game like this?
So this game was actually, I was here for AGDQ 2015, which is my first GDQ, actually. And we were trying to kill some time in the casual gaming room. And somebody's like, yo, I found this game on itch.io. We should just blind race it. So we did a blind race of Croaktail, and I kind of just fell in love with it and just kept playing it after the event until eventually we got a speed run down, we got a leaderboard, and then I submitted it.
Gotcha.
I actually ran Croaktail Renovations first in AGDQ 2017, which is the mode before what we're doing.
Very cool. Because I love that the speedrun community isn't just about like the big, like huge named games. It's all about these. It's also about these smaller games, and with that comes kind of smaller speedrunning communities. What is it like just kind of routing a game like this with such a small community?
It's a lot of fun because the people that are interested in the game are all like, yo, this game is great. We have to keep playing this, and I found this. I found this. Hey, I found this new trick. You should try it out. Is that faster? There's a neat little internet discussion that happens. And then after that game's done, you've already made some friends. So then they tell you of a new game, and now you're part of a new, smaller, indie game community. And all these games that, let's say, an indie dev just kind of throws out onto the internet suddenly have a very loving fan base. Included not only in the speedrun community, but those that watch them. So that's pretty cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this is what I was especially looking forward to during this interview. I did some cyber stalking of you. I found some of the other games that you run. And I want you to describe these games that you run in a single word.
Okay.
Ready? These are all games that he's either just ran or had the record in, but let's see how this goes. So number one, the most coveted of all, Mary Kate and Ashley Crush Course.
So, one word, I'm gonna do 2 words. Cutest boys.
Next up, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, A Twitch in Time.
Awful.
Gotcha. Next up, this one will definitely not be awful. We've got Pepsi Man.
Refreshing?
Ooh.
That's a nice word for that one. Yeah.
Next up, Tembo the Badass Elephant.
Way Forward? I think it's a Way Forward game. I don't remember. It might be, actually, is that a Game Freak game? I think it is. It's been a while.
That's fair.
That game's great, though.
Pepsi Man, The Forbidden Drink.
Ooh, Vaporwave.
This one I was especially intrigued by. Donkey Kong 5, The Journey of Overtime and Space.
Magical.
Magical, okay. And then lastly, Pepsi Man Unquenched.
Unquenched? I haven't done that one.
Okay, good. I was trying to trip you up with that one. That game does not exist, but I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. Do I need to find that?
So good. So before we move on to the next run, I just wanted to show you guys kind of a prize that we have available. We have a lot of art, actually, this upcoming block available, one of which is this awesome Hollow Knight art by Vats of Goop. If you donate $10, you can see this. You can be eligible for this. It's very cool. It actually, you can't quite see it, but it's actually like kind of shiny. It has these cool shiny chain effect to it. I'm trying to rotate it so you can see it. But very, very cool stuff. I believe that's Hollow Knight there in the front. And it just has this incredible glimmer effect. What is this creature behind me? I am spooked. I don't know, though.
Oh, my God.
All right, who's gone? Day is saved. I think we're okay. But yeah, please do, if this looks good to you, please donate for this. It's very cool artwork. We have a ton of other stuff too. Check out our site, really cool stuff. So I guess actually finishing that up, thank you so much, TheBoyks, for your time. We have some run coming up. I forget what it is, but I guess TheBoyks and I are just going to close out just by kind of saying, hey, GDQ.
Yo,
when's Hotline?
Come on.
Turns out it's right now.
Well, thank